Well, hello there. Woodsong here again with another Woodsong reading. I found a little babbling brook here in Houston. It actually looks like a babbling brook. If I come up a little bit, you'll see that there's actually a street right next to it. There's a little fountain, and it's an artificial brook with a little picnic and pond area, and I'll see a whole bunch of ducks off to the side. I'm not going to try to get to them because I'd have to walk across some stones, and I'd probably trip and fall into the little brook there. So we're going to do our reading here today. I apologize for the bright sun. This is Houston, so we get a lot of bright sun. And hopefully I can get the glare off of these cards here. Alrighty. So we're going to start off. By the way, before we start off, let me show you something right here. I finally got my hands back again last week after having some nerve damage for about 8 months or so. And was able to type up a reading and now even play a little guitar. And then this past weekend I was working on a new gypsy bardo. I was cutting some wood with a chop saw, and my finger had an argument with the chop saw and lost. I actually didn't cut it with the blade, but the wood got caught and spun around and kind of lost some skin on the finger and got it banged up and bruised up pretty good. So it's bandaged up right now. It'll be okay in a week or so, I would assume. So anyway, be very careful when you fool with chop saws. That's probably the message for the day. So let's start off with our first card. We're drawing 3 cards. We're going to try to find some coherent thought, something for us to think about, some solutions, some alternative viewpoints of things. So let's start with our first one. And I'm using the Tarot of the Illuminati deck, which is just a beautiful, beautiful deck that I recently received. And our first card is the Nine of Swords reversed. Now, the Nine of Swords usually suggests those. Have you ever had a time where you just wake up in the middle of the night and you've got something on your mind and you can't stop thinking about it and you're worrying about it and it just keeps you up. It occupies your mind constantly. That's what the Nine of Swords suggests. That type of event when you're so concerned about things that it's hard to get them off of your mind, and it's probably to the point that it's counterproductive. Now here we have the card reversed. Typically, reversal suggests a delay or a reversal of the message of the card. In this case, though, I think it's probably extending the message of the card, enhancing it. So rather than saying, oh, we have wonderful things to think about, this is saying, we have something on our mind, and it's really on our mind. It's something that's really bugging us. So how do we address that? How do we handle that? How do we avoid that type of situation? Let's look at our second card. Oh, I like this. This is a beautiful card. This is the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is a street-smart girl. She's been around the block. She's heard all the stories. She's heard every excuse in the world, and she knows what's really going on. And she's learned this through experience. She's learned the hard way. So this is what we want to apply to help us in a situation when we have something on our mind. Use your own experiences. Say, well, have I ever had to worry about this thing before? Okay, what happened? Well, I survived. I came out okay. So maybe I don't need to worry about this as much as I am. Maybe it's not as critical as I'm making it seem to be. Maybe I'm making more out of this thing than it really is. Perhaps I'm the problem, not the issue itself. So what I need to do is stop being the problem. I need to apply my own experience and realize, okay, what's the worst can happen? I have a friend of mine who always says, well, at least they can't eat me. Okay, and that's kind of how she deals with hard situations. Yeah, it's a trouble, it's a problem, but you deal with it. And you don't have to worry about them eating you. So it's not as bad as you might be making it seem. So let's let the Queen of Swords help us in our Nine of Swords situation. If we're concerned about things, use your experience and try to portray it in reality. Try to see it as it really is. Don't make more of it than of an issue than it may be. Where does this lead us? The Two of Cups. There's another beautiful card. Maybe I can focus in a little closer on these guys. The Two of Cups. Two of Cups suggests a new relationship, a new friendship, a renewal of a relationship, a renewal of a friendship, bringing things to a new level, bringing things to a higher level, becoming more involved with friends and family, becoming more involved with yourself. Sometimes people don't like themselves very much, which is really kind of silly. You know yourself better than anyone else. You know your weaknesses, but you also know your strengths. Everybody has weaknesses. You just may not know everyone's weaknesses yet. Everyone has strengths. We tend to see the strengths of people more than we see the weaknesses, but then we tend to ignore our own strengths more than we should. So, as something we're going to see on the way to resolve our Nine of Swords situation, we may see a renewal rebirth, a revitalization, maybe just a shift of attention. If we're concerned about an issue, let's use our experience, make us realize that it's not as eventful, it's not as critical as it may seem, and shift our attention to personal relationships and pull satisfaction from those relationships we do have. So for example, suppose if we're concerned about a Nine of Swords situation where it appears that we may be losing a relationship. Well, okay, use your experience. That happens. People lose relationships. It happens to everybody. It doesn't have to be the end of the world, because if we go on to the next final card, Two of Cups, there are other relationships that we can build on, that we can draw strength from, that we can draw comfort from, and we can give comfort to. So we want to shift our attention to the things that we have and maybe not focus on so much on the things that we may be losing, if that's the type of situation that we're in. And that's kind of where we end up at this reading here. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, if you have enjoyed this reading, I'd be very grateful if you care to share it by clicking some of the links below this video with either Facebook or Twitter or Reddit, or stumble upon any of those things down there. I'd be very grateful should you share those to your social media friends. And if you care to subscribe to this series of readings, there is a link on YouTube where you can subscribe. It's a free subscription. I don't even think I get your information when you subscribe, but you're not going to be hounded with emails and solicitations and stuff. All that'll happen is that when I post new readings, you will receive a notification that a new reading has been posted. So you'll hear about it before anybody else does. So if you care to subscribe, I'd be very grateful. And I think that's about it for today. If you have any questions or have any comments, I'd love to see them. Please go ahead and leave the comments in the section below. And I guess that's about it for the week. I will leave you now and be back more with later. Darn, I did it again. I always say more with later. I really mean later with more, but I guess you figured that out by now. Anyway, that's the Louisiana in me speaking. I just kind of mismash words all the time. So take care, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. So long.